right, yeah. Keep your hands off. Tom Barnes. This is the story from the 78. I'm at the Revolution Tap Room here on Kedzie Avenue in the Avondale neighborhood, talking about the big collab they have going on with another Chicago icon, Garrett Popcorn. Their caramel crisp popcorn that they make is now a flavor from Revolution. I'm going to talk to Jim, who's the brew master here at Revolution, about this new product that is in these fancy, beautiful cans right here that I'm going to try here in a second. That is the story from the 78. And there's Jim right there. Let's say hi. All right, in the Revolution Tap Room here in Avondale, I'm here with Brewmaster Jim. How you doing, sir?
Doing great. How are you today?
I'm doing good. You can't have a bad day when you're hanging out in a tap room like this, an iconic tap room here at Revolution. This is right off of Kedzie. A lot of fun here, for sure.
Yes, it's always nice to have a freshly poured beer in front of you and kind of hang out amongst the barrels that are aging here with our strong barrel-aged beers and just talk about beer and brewing in general.
Yeah, and this is the reason why we're here, this collaboration you have going on here with Garrett Popcorn, a Chicago icon, been around for a long time. Revolution's been around since, right around 2008 or 9, right around there, correct?
The brew pub on Milwaukee Avenue actually opened in 2010, and the facility we're in right now is on Kedzie in Avondale, and this opened in 2012.
And for folks who've never been here before, because shockingly, I have not, and I thought I've been to almost every place like this in the city, but when I saw the address, I'm like, I don't know if I've been there, and surely I have not. Talk about the tap room here, because it's a massive place, a lot of room to spread out, and then you have a production facility kind of tucked in the backside of it.
Yes, here on Kedzie Avenue at our production facility, we have a big tap room here, which is great because it allows a lot of people to come in here and hang out and just get a really good vibe going. We have our barrels aging, if you look off to your left there, so people could hang out amongst the barrels as our beer is aging and just kind of talk beer and enjoy beer and look through the glass over there and see production going on. Our canning line is right there, fermentation cellar is right there as well, so anyone that's kind of hanging out here having a good time and drinking some beers can actually see the inner workings of what's going on in the brewery, so that's actually really cool.
And you got a lot of Chicago pride, obviously, with the logo itself, and just inside the tap room, you can see the Chicago Star everywhere, but a lot of Chicago pride. Love it.
Indeed. We love making beer here in Chicago. We're very proud of it. We all live here. Just love the city. It's one of the best cities in the world, and I mean, we couldn't be happier to have our brewing facilities here and be able to brew beer and use our awesome Lake Michigan water here. We're on one of the best freshwater resources on the planet. So yeah, we're super stoked to be here.
Yeah, and I've heard that from a lot of places in the city, a lot of breweries, about how Lake Michigan water is almost like liquid gold to be able to be used. And you've been here since the beginning, Jim. You've seen this place grow from the first production run of however many that was to here we are in this tap room in this collaboration with Garrett Popcorn.
Yes, our very first brew was at the brew pub at the end of 2009. It was actually, oddly enough, as many hoppy beers as we brew here and barrel-aged beers at Revolution was a dark English mild ale, the Working Man.
Talk about how the Garrett collaboration happened, because I mean, you don't hear much about caramel crisp or caramel corn in beer, but Garrett is a Chicago institution for sure, and as is Revolution. How did that whole thing from a conversation to us seeing this wonderful can here, and I imagine the taste is outstanding.
Well, this collaboration really grew organically. First of all, they're our neighbors. Secondly,
that always helps, huh?
They're super cool people, and they're an iconic brand, and their caramel corn, cheese corn, all their products are fantastic. So it was just a matter of time before we were going to be able to brew a beer together. So we were very excited to get the talks going, and once we got the talks rolling and approved doing this beer, we started doing some sample brewing on our pilot system in the back, trying to incorporate the caramel crisp corn at the proper time in our brewing process so we could extract those flavors into our brewing process and then complement this product with all these specialty malts and sugars that we are using in our brew house to really create a beer that almost has the appearance of the caramel corn, has all the nuances of the caramel corn, the silky velvety texture on the mouthfeel, super smooth, low bitterness, and a pretty substantial ABV at 7%. So it's a great beer to be rolling out at this time of year where the weather is just starting to get a little bit cool, you might have to put a sweatshirt on, but you can still wear some shorts, and it's a perfect beer for some football weather as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's an alternative to what a lot of other places are doing this time of year with certain flavors. This is something very unique, very different. I imagine the process of getting this recipe just right was a lot of fun, and just trying out the different variations of what became this collaboration.
It's never not fun brewing beer to begin with, and it's even more fun tasting it once you're done with your process. But it took us two brews on our pilot system to really kind of refine a recipe and define how much caramel corn we're going to use in our process. And we wanted to use some of the other products that Garrett used in the production of their caramel crisp as well. We used some brown sugar, we used some dextrose. We added some lactose in our brew house as well, which gives the beer a very velvety, silky texture. And then at the end of our brewing process in the brew house, we added a little bit of kosher salt as well, just to help enhance all these flavors we're trying to infuse into this beer.
And how long is this collaboration sticking around? Is it a limited run here where people have a certain amount of time and then it's gone for a while, or how's that work?
I believe that this beer is going to go pretty quickly, just because of Garrett's reputation with their wonderful caramel corn here in Chicago, and our reputation as a brewer here in Chicago. So I think it's going to go pretty quickly, but I could see us revisiting this collaboration, and I'm actually hatching a little scheme myself to brew a stronger version of this beer that we could age in these barrels that you see right beside you here, and then age it for a year and a half, and then release that as a special product as well. That's where I see this going. I would love to do that.
Can't wait to come back and try that round of this for sure.
Indeed, that'll be double the ABV of this one. That'll, instead of 7% as the Caramel Crisp beer is here, we're going to be probably looking in the range of 14 to 15%.
All right, put on your big boy pants when you drink that one.
Definitely need the big boy pants, and you need to schedule an Uber as well to be safe.
Yeah, for sure. The tap room, is it open 7 days a week? How does that work for folks who've never been able to be here but want to check it out?
Tap room is open Wednesday through Sunday.
Got it. For folks that want to come by, what's the best way for them to find out information about different times and days that you guys are open and whatnot?
I think the best way to check that out is to check out our website, and you'll see all the available times where you can come and drink some fresh beer at our tap room, and see our canning line functioning, and see the cellar in full swing as well.
Fantastic. Jim, thanks a lot. I appreciate you taking time. Don't let your beer get cold, or warm, I should say. Cheers, my friend.
Cheers, everyone.
All right, that is the story from the 78 here in Avondale. TomBarneyChicago@gmail.com if you have a suggestion for a story from the 78, or head over to the website, storiesfromthe78.com. Happy drinking, everybody. We'll see you.